Very much, Sister Kut, Sister Doris, and Sister Cheng for today's nice Sunday Pūjā. Back with us today is Brother Casey Lee. Today is his birthday. We wish him a very happy birthday and many more to come, yeah? And today's, so coincidentally, I don't know, is it coincidence or he chose it? His topic today is my birthday. Let's go over to Brother Casey and see what he has to say.
Okay, thank you, Brother Terence, for the kind introduction. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Namo Buddhaya. And firstly, thank you for joining this morning sharing entitled My Birthday. You know, today is 18th of June. So when Brother Leng Huat wanted me to give a Dhamma sharing, I thought 18 June is my birthday. So let us look at some of the thoughts that go through my mind, you know, during these birthdays. I'll just do some sharing of slides. Okay, let's compose ourselves, brothers and sisters, keep our minds still and calm while we pay homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully self-enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, today's morning Dhamma sharing is my birthday. So thank you very much for those who have sent me the birthday wishes. You know, a lot of wishes came through my phone this morning. And surprisingly, even the income tax also sent me birthday wishes, you know, so I've been very obediently paying income tax. So they also send me birthday wish today. So it's, you know, it's really happy to receive all the messages that came through my phone. And today is also Father's Day. So all fathers out there following the program or listening to this Dhamma sharing, happy Father's Day. And happen also today is the first day of the full moon, yeah. And then I think some of the brothers and sisters will be participating in Upasata Day, you know, taking 8 precepts. So may I wish that your wholesome deed today will lead you to final liberation. Okay, let me go through a little bit about my birthday. I can't remember how I was born, but I can tell you a bit about some of the information, and I will generally give you a short description of my early years growing up in the estate. And then, you know, the most happening thing that has changed my life is while I was in USM, Penang. So I was born in 18 June 1960 in a small estate hospital. How I was delivered, I cannot remember, because this is a hot estate hospital. So most likely the equipment that they had in the 1960s is not as change as we see in the modern hospital today. So I was born in a small estate called Sungai Jina Estate in a town called Trolak and a state of Perak. So for those who are good in history, Trolak, it is in fact a very prominent location for World War II. So when the Japanese came from the north all the way down to KL, there was a very big battle in this small town called Trolak. So some of the remains from the World War II are still there. Like, for example, the bursting off of the bridge that connects the road that leads from Sungkai down to Trolak was burst up by the British soldiers when they retreated from this town towards the KL city itself. So I'm the 7th in a family of 10 siblings, so it's quite a big family. You can imagine when I was growing up in an estate with 10 people surrounding me. So I really experienced the concept, the concept called poverty, really experiencing how difficult it is to grow up in an estate where food on the table was not easy to come by. So both my parents are rubber tappers. Having 10 siblings, it's not an easy thing to do. So that's how I grew up in there. So I cannot remember much of the things right now. Then came the time where I was in USM. So that is where I was enrolled to do my first degree in computer science in 1980s, I think, 1980s. So you can imagine when I was given this particular course called computer science, I was a fourth batch taking that course in USM. So something so new, something, didn't expect. I want to be a teacher, but don't know why the government says, you should take the computer science course. So I end up there, spent 4 years learning about programming, learning about logic, but we are working on large machines. So we were all trained on using IBM mainframe. So PCs and all that was not around then. So, all my experience was on large mainframe, writing programs using classical programming languages. No one heard it today, Pascal, Fortran, PL1, and then some assembly language, to talk with the machine. So in the whole process, I acquired quite a lot of understanding and knowledge about logic, and that has shaped me to who I am today. Very logical, very structured, and all this training I got from the course at USM has built me to be the person I am today. Definitely a big chunk of it is my exposure to Buddhism. So I should thank the opportunity given to me to know this religion, which has also molded me in many ways, in the way I deal with issues, deal with people, and the way I see the world. So definitely the religion that I was in contact and given me the foundation has given me the extra edge, in dealing with difficult situations. So this is also the place where I met my wife, and her family is also kind of devout Buddhist. And in fact, when I was looking for a girlfriend in USM days, one of the criteria is that girl must be a Buddhist. So somehow met my Mrs. Mei Leong. I think you all know. She's also very active in chanting as well as meditation and developing oneself to be a better individual along the process. So having my partner who is also devout Buddhist has given me great opportunity to practice Buddhism in the family and the way we bring our children, our 3 children, all wonderful grown-up kids, so bringing Buddhism to the family and using Buddhism as a way to teach our child and the way we want them to see the world, do help a lot right now as they are growing up and having their own families. The foundation given during that early years, do give them a lot of assistance. So I'm going to spend a bit of time looking at myself as well as how this religion, the Buddhism, has molded me and directed me, the way I do things. And now 63. So what are the goals that I have, for the remaining days before we come to the tail end of our life? So let me go through to talk a little bit about the way I see see things today. So what I see today is that past are just memories. We engage in in all kind of daily activities. We know that the moment we engage with the world, the people, the items, the events, all these are stored in our memory. And from time to time, this memory will arise in our thought, and it can bring back happiness or remorses. So I now look at all this past as merely memories. So if the thought, bring back some of these memories, I would just look at it and just leave it alone, because it has really passed us, and we cannot go and relive the memories again, So these are all the past. So throughout my career journey, I very fortunate. I were given a lot of opportunity, and at the age of 43, the time I decided to say this is enough. Life is enough. I've seen the world. I've sat on the highest position in the company. I said, that's enough, give it a break. So I took the first retirement at the age of 43. And some people say you're crazy, 43 is the peak time for you to excel and grow in the corporate world. But I decided that's enough, we cannot go on chasing this life day after day. And then, as long as I see that it doesn't give pleasantness or happiness and it never ends, I decided at 43, that's enough, push it aside. Those friends that I had who were still working later on, joined other organizations, they had been calling me all the time, come back and, this company that they are in needs somebody to come and lead. So I went back again into corporate world and I told myself, this is 10 years. So after 10 years is up, at the age of 53, I said, this is enough. So again, I said, I throw my towel and say, this is enough. So you can see, while we have the opportunity for gain, the salary is so good, I'm given this and that, drivers, car, and plus, all the perks. So I decided this again, it's not something I need to chase after. So at the age of 53, I said, that's it. So I retired and retired again. So, and the future, I take it as it's just an imagination in the mind. The thing hasn't happened. It's just in the thought. And if you think a lot about it, it brings fear, worries, and uncertainty. In fact, all of us face that too, right? So the past and the future are things that has one part of it is gone, past, and one part of it is yet to come. But somehow, as a human being, our mind tend to spend time there. I don't know what we get out of it. Really, but I sometimes go to the past or the future thoughts arises. Sometimes also I ask myself, what do I gain out of this? By getting my mind to a space where it's no longer useful to me, or to a future space which hasn't happened. So why are we worried of something that hasn't happened at all, or fear of something that hasn't happened at all? Yeah. So what I decided is that. So I say, this is it. I think present is the real experience. So from the time when I retired, I said, this is it. This is where I should spend most of my time. The very present now is the real experience. Because if I don't look at the present experience, it will just pass, and then it becomes something remorseful if I don't do it right, or I didn't take effort to do it correctly. So it becomes a remorseful experience. So whenever I have opportunity, I'll try to remain at the present space and see the thing that happens right in front of me, the experience that happened right in front of me, that is real. So the moment I've experienced it, it just passes and a new experience come on board. So throughout the day now, I will practice more daily mindfulness by keeping the mind at the present moment. So I put effort in doing things and remembering what I'm doing. If so I'm walking, I will just remember now I'm walking. If I'm sweeping, now I'm sweeping. So thought do arises from time to time while I'm doing that daily mindfulness. Thoughts somehow keep coming in. It can be a past, it can be a future, but immediately when a thought arises about a past or the future, I will quickly push it aside by paying attention to what I'm doing right now. So it has been pretty good, by doing the daily mindfulness practice right now. I keep the mind at the present, and it gave me a lot of peace in the mind. The mind becomes happy and peaceful rather than it goes to the past, and happy memories. It makes you smile, but some unhappy memories will, create remorsefulness, and you become sad. So I try to say, this is not what I want. So we have a choice in life. So I say, that's it. The daily mindfulness is what I want to put my mind in. So throughout this 63 years, I see life as a journey. It's not the beginning or the end like that. It's just a journey, and it has many ups and downs. And we experience this up and down along this journey itself. And some of the things that we experience are not in our favor. Some are in our favor. In our favor, we take it as a blessing. Not in our favor, we take it as a lesson. Yeah, so that's how I deal with the everyday things that passes my way. When things crosses my way, I look at it as, this is life, and it's a journey. It's changing all the time. We cannot be certain. So why should we be so caught up with what is changing and holding on to this thing that is forever changing? So now I understand that this is what the Buddha is trying to tell us, a natural law called anicca, means impermanence. Things are changing all the time, and it always go to flux. So if I also realize that by accepting that things are all changing and going through flux, it helps me to deal with the changes at ease. I still remember when my mom passed away I think about 20 years ago, I took it as it is life, but my mom had cancer of the lung. So I see her suffering, from a very strong, healthy lady. Within a year, she really lost a lot of weight and become so skinny. I look at the change itself. I said, it's better to change the body. It's better for her to have another body and take on a new life rather than holding on to this body which is so weak, and it's it's coming to the tail end of it, not to hold on. So when she finally passed away, I rejoice that it is what the Buddha is trying to tell us, So he gave us a direct experience of seeing anicca right in front of my eye, from healthy to really sick and then passing away. And I have taken it as something very positive, and this is it. This is life. This is how things will be, and it's just a turn. Everybody is there. So in fact, you look at the whole message given by our Lord Buddha. The moment we are born, we are already sentenced to death, isn't it? So that's what. Maybe some people doesn't like to hear this kind of thing, but that is the truth. The moment we are born, we are sentenced to death, but we do not know when is expiry date. Some of them receive expiry date when you fell ill, and the doctor says, you got barely 3 more months to live. So they have an expiry date. They know this is the tail end. But all of us are sick in some sense, but we are just not knowing that, when is the expiry date. So if we take life in that nature, we find, the whole process of accepting 63. Today's my birthday, 63. Tomorrow you're going to be 64. So the moment you are at this stage at 63, we should feel blessed that we have lived long enough, isn't it? We have lived long enough, 63 years, So some of them pass away much younger. We have 63 years. We are still healthy. So we have to be thankful and happy and be blessed. Look at the blessing and the opportunity that's given to us, that we have this life still to go on, and what shall we do with it? So those are the reflections that comes to me, at today's my birthday. So these are the reflections. I also see that this change that is embodied in all aspects of our life, and aging is one of the most obvious that we can see. While we want to remain young, we know the body is gradually changing. And certainly it's not as strong as before, At the age of 63, you can see all the bone are aching. We know it's coming, it's there. Sometimes in our thoughts, we wish that we are still as healthy as we were, but we also know that that is a past. It's actually living in the past, hoping the body is still like that. But the true nature is that we are already at 63, so the body is going to age. It has aged, and there will be this pain. And I also understand that, you know, all this thing that arises in us at this age is beyond my control. You know, it happens, it's a natural process. So if I hold on to this and say, I do not want to get old, you know, I don't want to get this, I don't want to get that, by going against the law of nature, you know, what I experience will be nothing but unpleasantness and stress. So I see all this right now, you know, I see them very clearly that the way forward is not to hold, but to experience the life. So it's just an experience that we are getting, and we should enjoy the experience and keep the mind happy and peaceful, whether it's good or, you know, pleasant or unpleasant. We should just take it and absorb it as it is, as part of the life, you know. So if we can do that, then definitely we can safely say that, you know, we have enjoyed our experience, and you know, the life that we have lived through is a useful one, not something that we remorse a lot. So I just want to bring you know, the reflection a little bit down to lessons I learned from the suttas. And this particular words given by the Buddha, for those who are very familiar, this is actually taken from the Four Noble Truths. I always reflect on this word, because this is it, because this is nothing but it's the truth. Is real. It's not crafted, and it's said by people who has not experienced it. The Buddha, who has experienced this, has nicely stated in a complete way. You know, he says that having come to birth, the birth itself is suffering. I see it. I see it as if you are born in a family, you know, just to keep the life going, to get food. Even as a young child, if not because our parents there to protect us, to provide us milk, I think we won't be able to survive. So, and that's the reason why the Buddha says, you know, the two people that we should really reverence are our father and mother, because without them, there's no opportunity of this birth. And if there is no birth, then there is no you. You do not know who you are. So the birth itself and the initial years of the birth itself, you know, it's definitely provided for by our parents, our father and mother. And then once we grow up, you know, we are independent, we have our own thinking mind, we can, our strength, that we can move about, we can do what you like. But the Buddha says that even then, while we are in the world to, you know, bring food to the table, to sustain the life, we will still see aging, we will still see sickness, and the death, as I say, is just waiting for us right at the tail end of it. So I see all that. Aging is, I see it, sickness, I see it, death, I see it. And I also see that, you know, the other beautiful crafted word associating with unpleasant is suffering. We all know, you know, when you are given things that you do not like, it gives you stress, or you are with people that you do not like, you know, you have the stress as well. Or even sometimes seeing them, you become very stressful, you know, or you don't get what you like. We also experience that. I experienced a lot of it. Yeah. Like for example, during my corporate years, I thought I worked very hard, and I didn't get the kind of increment. It is a form of stress, you know. So it goes through the mind and say, what the hell, you know, I work so hard and I'm not getting what I deserve to get. Or, you know, you all the clinging of the five aggregate. Like this is a little bit deep, because the Buddha finally says that, you know, we have wrongly taken this body and the mind to be ourselves, is a source of suffering. I think I dwell a lot on this line right now. Yeah, knowing that the sentence right there, even though say in brief, but it has a lot of meaning inside. And this is the piece that I'm trying to crack, you know, in this very life itself. So at the age of 63, I'm trying to crack it. Maybe next year I got to crack it. I got to crack this line, which is said in brief. The five clinging aggregates are a source of suffering. I just want to dwell a little bit on this sentence, and how do I put this into my daily reflection right now. So understanding this is nothing but the truth. Now I take it as a daily reflection, reflecting on aging, reflecting on sickness, and reflecting on death. We see this, and I have not overcome this three things yet. So I'm subjected to it, and I have not overcome. I have not found the answer to aging, sickness, and death. So I will be subject to this. So I try to recall this every minute, every moment, whenever I'm free, nothing else to do, instead of thinking of the past or the future, I take this up and I will then tell myself, I'm still subjected to this three things, aging, sickness, and death, and I have not overcome it. And I got to be a bit more urgent. Huh? We cannot wait for another birthday. Don't know whether we are going to wait for another birthday or not, whether it will ever come. But now looking at the present situation, we have to hurry up, hurry up to see that this is right in front of me, aging, sickness, and death, which I have not overcome. And also constantly reflecting on, I will separate from everything that is dear to me. And nothing that I acquire, my house, my car, my children, my wife, or even my siblings, all this are acquired along the way. Maybe I also got to remind myself constantly that everything that is dear to me will separate one day. Yeah, nothing can stop this from happening. So it is going to be there. So the moment we leave the world, we are going to leave behind all things that is dear to me. So this is going to be also a reflection that I always have daily. And then lastly is to look at whatever I do is the result of whatever I do is my own responsibility. Nobody is going to take the blame. Nobody is going to share what I'm doing. So it's wholesome and unwholesome. It's all my own doing. So what I'll do is that by reflecting on this, I will spend more time on wholesome thinking, wholesome action, and wholesome speech, rather than dwelling into unwholesome thinking, unwholesome action, and unwholesome speech. So this reflection has been something that I hold dearly and do it on a daily basis. So the next thing I also come to know is that, as the Buddha says, the clinging on the five aggregate that have made suffering to myself. So how do we cling to the body? How do you have cling to the mind? The mind, in the context of Buddhism, there are 4 subcategories. So if I hold on to one of this and personalize it, making it to be me, the body is I, the feeling is me, the perception is myself, or the mental formation and the consciousness. If I identify that I am one of this aggregate, definitely I will do all I can to protect it from not decaying. The body is aging. If I take this as my body, I'll take all the pain to prevent the body from aging. And that itself is it's an action which is fruitless. We know already that the body will age, but because I've taken the body to be myself, I think I can prevent it from aging. So, we might apply cream to our body or whatever to slow down the aging. We can slow it down, but aging will definitely happen. Same thing with feelings, same thing with perception, mental formation. And if we hold on to any one of the 5 aggregates and say, this is me, that's how we end up having the word like I see, then I hear, then I taste, and then that I smell. So everything that is happening, if I attach the word I there, then definitely when it doesn't happen the way I want it to be, that experience itself is stress. So now I can see that this is it, that holding on to any of the 5 aggregates is going to be a pain for myself. So I'm trying to see this and say, this is not I am not the one who see, I'm not the one who hear it, taste. So it looks very funny, isn't it? You say you're a crazy guy, you're thinking like that. But that is what the Buddha has advised us. by not associating a self in all this, the 5 aggregate, is the way to really see true happiness. We do enjoy happiness by thinking about this, but these are just temporary. The happiness then turn out to be suffering later part of it, part of the day or part of the week. Yeah, but the one that is sustaining happiness is when we see all this, experience all this without the person in it. So that is the whole crux of it. And that's where it brings down to how I see the world. Now, understanding that we have this 6 sense organ, we have the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind, and I engage with the world. Yeah, so I receive messages, happy birthday, may you be well and healthy, may you be joyful. All these are what I receive and how I see the world. All these are coming through all the sense things, sense organs. I'm receiving it. And how do I take that stimuli that comes through my sense organs? I should say that, most of the time, my mind is distorted and I have a wrong view on things. And then these are the 4 possible wrong views I have. When I see something changing, I see as not changing. And when I see that is the truth is suffering, that I see is pleasantness. There is no one there, but I thought I'm there enjoying it. And things are not lovely. I thought everything is beautiful. So this what my mind is right now. Some part of it are distorted. At times it's distorted, and times it's not distorted. So I'm trying to constantly engage the mind and look at the mind. And when the mind perceives things in the wrong way, I quickly rectify it to be the right way, telling the mind that this is a wrong way to see it. And by doing so, it does bring peace and happiness to myself. So I got to admit that I have this distortion. Sometimes it arises, sometimes it doesn't arise. So I got to be extremely careful. So if I go against the law of nature, the law of nature is changing, suffering, no self, and unlovely. That is the nature. If I constantly go against the nature, I know I'm going to suffer. So whenever there is unpleasant arising in me right now, I will then investigate to see which of these 4 that I have wrongly taken to be my view, and these are wrong view. So my emphasis right now is to work hard to regain back the mind through meditation. So I do spend a lot of time right now meditating, to look inwards, to understand how the mind works, to keep the mind at the present moment. So I'm sure some level of wisdom will arise and develop over this process. And, hopefully through that process, I should be able to see things in its true nature, see things in the law of nature. I have to keep reminding myself that I should see the law of nature rather than the one I wish to be. The wish to be is the one that brings suffering. Okay, the law of nature is the truth. So I should spend more time looking at the truth and be with the truth to reduce the suffering. So in the whole practice right now, I constantly look at change in the changing. I see suffering, the suffering, and I try very hard to see the non-self. There is no self, and I always see unlovely as such. Things are not lovely. Instead of looking at everything as beautiful, I should say, this is not true. This is not real. This is an imaginary thing, my wish list, but the law is quite different. So by doing that, what I hope to achieve for this coming 63 birthday, so this is going to be my good present for myself. So if I can do this practice and see things in its right view, moving away from the wrong view towards the right view, one of these days I shall overcome all the suffering. So that is my birthday wish for at the age of 63. And brothers and sisters, thank you very much for all your wishes. I hope this short Dhamma sharing on a birthday, that you may also want to reflect on your birthday. May not be your birthday, but birthday sometimes is taken to be a kind of milestone. We have at least one more year. How far have we gone in that 1 year? And how much practices or improvement that we have done. So sometimes recollection and reflection during a birthday will increase our urgency, to do more good, avoid evil, and the whole process is to purify our mind. So with that, thank you very much, brothers and sisters. I will then pass this control back to Brother Terence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for Brother Casey for today's sharing. So what a wonderful sharing. So it sounds like you are enlightened already. Okay, this morning we have spent some wholesome time participating in the morning puja and listening to Brother Casey's enlightening talk. Now, with the merits that we accrue, we'd like now dedicate those merits to all beings, whether they are seen and unseen, and especially to our parents, if they have been departed, or past parents that we may or may not know. Now, let's compose our minds, think about them, as we dedicate the merits to them. Akasata cha bummata deva naga mahidika punyang tamanumoditva chiram rakkantu loka sasanang ettavata cha amhehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva sabbe bhuta sabbe sattha numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. And aspirations? Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yavani bana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you everyone for watching. For other videos, please go to the links below. Bye bye for now. See you all again next week.